Will Anthony Edwards be the next GOAT? The GOAT debate has been prevalent across different sports for decades. The NBA has seen its fair share of contenders over the years, from Wilt Chamberlain to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and LeBron James. Though many fans believe that this debate is unsettled, one player has emerged as the GOAT expectation and hype around him. His name is Anthony Edwards. A five-star prospect since his sophomore year in high school, Anthony Edwards was a revelation in his freshman year. Having made the McDonald's and Ball is Life All-American teams and the Jordan Brand Classic, his future as a pro was assured. But what wasn't was his ceiling, which has been significantly raised in his single college season. In this video, let's take a look at how Anthony Edwards will likely get the first draft in the NBA and see if he could be a future GOAT all the fans have expected. Heading into the 2020 season, the University of Georgia's Anthony Edwards was the fourth-ranked player in the ESPN 100. He was also ranked the top-ranked shooting guard. Despite not being the number one player in the class, many thought the freshman would be the first player selected in the 2020 NBA draft. However, a roller coaster year with the Bulldogs has left his status as the draft's best prospect in doubt. At the moment, Georgia sits at 14-13 on the season. The Bulldogs are a miserable 4-10 in conference play, and the team would need to win the SEC tournament in order to make the NCAA tournament. Considering head coach Tom Crean landed a recruit like Edwards, this season has been a massive failure. While it might be easy to blame the 18-year-old for Georgia not reaching expectations, it's important to separate the prospect from his team's shortcomings. Plenty of NBA superstars have come from losing teams, and there will be a lot more in the future. What's more concerning with Edwards is that a guy with his ability should be playing a lot better individually. A 6'5" with a 6'9" wingspan, Edwards is a physical specimen. Not only does he have the ideal size for a shooting guard, but Edwards looks like he could play on the defensive end. His combination of strength, skill, and athleticism is rare, and that's why many viewed him as this draft's top prospect. The problem with Edwards right now is that he simply isn't using his talent correctly. Although a young star is averaging 18.9 points per game, the way he plays isn't desirable for somebody with his physical traits. One main issue is that the freshman settles for far too many jumpers. According to Synergy Sports, Edwards pulls up on 67.7% of his shots in half-court situations. Edwards is an impressive shot maker, but he should be able to get to the basket with ease. There aren't five guys on this planet that play his position and have both the strength and quickness to keep him from getting to the rim with a full head of steam. So it's a bit senseless that he isn't getting to the rim more often. At the very least, he'd be able to draw some fouls. This prospect is a near elite player in isolation, scoring .967 points per possession on a play that accounts for 10.8% of his shots. He is simply unguardable with just one guy on him, so he should be hunting quality looks whenever he can. He doesn't need to be settling for bad jumpers unless it's late in the shot clock, and that's something that a good coaching staff will hammer home once he gets to the NBA. Edwards' hesitation forces the defender to sag just a little bit. That's enough for the 18-year-old to have the space to comfortably get a good shot off. However, Edwards can also decide that he's going to shoot too early in a possession. The 18-year-old athlete is also too good of a shooter to be struggling on unguarded catch-and-shoot opportunities. He is in the 14th percentile of all of college basketball in those situations, which is extremely low. The fact that Edwards has been the best player on the floor most of his life could be the reason that he is almost most comfortable when guarded. Opposing teams have been throwing defenders at him from every direction throughout his entire career, so he has had to figure out all of the sort of ways to make shots. But he's going to need to start hitting them when he's open. On the other end of the floor, Edwards' defensive box plus and minus of 1.1 leaves a lot to be desired. Edwards' physical profile should also lend itself to great defense, but Edwards leans more towards mediocre on that end. When engaged, Edwards is capable of stopping almost anybody. While all of this might seem alarming, just know that the freshman also does things that nobody else in the class is capable of. He might have flaws, but his talent is undeniable, and the things Edwards can do on offense still make him a worthy pick at top of the draft. In addition to being great in isolation, Edwards is a terror in transition. Once he has the ball with a sliver of daylight, he's very difficult to stop. Edwards has two defenders in front of him, but he never panics. He trusts in both his skill and athleticism, knowing that he can get a good shot off whenever he wants. That leads to Edwards calmly lifting up and hitting a floater. With that in his arsenal, he should be able to feast on the break in the NBA. Being able to dunk the ball or lay it in is nice, but Edwards has more to his game. On top of that, Edwards is a great pick and roll ball handler. Early in the season, the freshman was having some troubles with reads. This versatile player is good for .804 points per possession when serving as the initiator in pick and rolls. That puts him in the 66th percentile, which is impressive for an off-ball guard. He's especially good when turning the corner and attacking the rim. Edwards is also adept at finding his teammates in pick and roll situations, which has a lot to do with his scoring gravity. Defenders are always aware when Edwards has the ball, as they know he can score at will. That creates more opportunities for his teammates to find holes. Although Edwards can overpower just about any defender, he tends to settle for outside shots and can have questionable shot selection. If he lands in a bad situation in the NBA, this problem could be exaggerated. He shot only 40% from the field and a paltry 29% from 3 as a freshman. Some of this is due to his at times poor shot selection and being a very high usage player. His shot certainly isn't broken, and his 77% from the line indicates that he's got a good shooting touch. Edwards has plenty of ability on the defensive end, but isn't always as locked in as you'd like. He's got potential to be a lockdown defender, but at this point lacks consistency. As he gains experience, he should begin to stand out more on that end of the floor. Considering Anthony Edwards' shooting skills, athleticism, size and power, defensive and offensive skills, and his age, he has the best chance to be on the top of the 2020 NBA draft. Will he be the next GOAT? Well, we can't tell the future. However, with his talent and dedication to his league, he would get himself a chance at being a GOAT in the future.